do if you tie a knot at the beginning of your bracelet or even while you're making your bracelet, and a few of the threads are not as tight as the other ones. All you're going to do is take each individual thread and pull it tight. Here is an example of a bracelet that needed to have that done, but didn't have that done, and so now all of the loops are loose. My next tip is if you get dog hair or human hair or any type of weird fuzzies or anything in your bracelets, always have tweezers on hand to easily just pull those out. Because if you have a dog that sheds, you know the struggle of getting dog hair in and on everything, and especially woven into bracelets. This clip is actually from my Halloween bracelet making video. So this tip is if you make the wrong knot or not the wrong thread or something and you need to take it apart, just take a sewing needle or a safety pin and use that to go like through, like under the threads that you need to pull out to fix your bracelet. The next one is a bit odd and I've never heard anybody address it, but when you make bracelets, sometimes it is really hard on your fingers. So if I'm making a bracelet that is really hard on my fingers, it's always my middle fingers because those are the fingers I use when I tighten bracelets, like I lean the thread against there. I like to wear band-aids on those fingers, or sometimes I even use tape, like the same tape I use to hold bracelets down, which is probably really bad for my skin, but oh well. And another thing is to put lotion on your hands if you get that dry, gross skin from making bracelets. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have ever had problems with this or if it's just me. This next one is pretty self-explanatory, but write yourself notes. So for example, this cobra bracelet, which I have a tutorial for on my channel, you always put the same colored string under the other color strings. So to make that easy to remember, you could write yourself a note like blue goes under. If your friendship bracelet floss or embroidery floss, whatever you call it, it's all the same stuff basically, frays like this, that is totally normal. That doesn't mean it's broken or anything. I've seen a lot of people struggle making bracelets because they think their thread is constantly breaking, but it's just fraying apart, which is totally normal, and even good quality thread does this. So if your thread does this, don't worry, it's totally fine. My next tip is when you're watching tutorials on how to make a bracelet, watch different tutorials from different people because everybody teaches differently and everybody learns differently. So you may pick up one part of the bracelet from one video and another part from another video, as well as like sizing. Sometimes people are very unclear with how long the thread should be, so maybe from video A you learned perfectly how to make the bracelet but you can't figure out how long it needs to be, so then you watch video B that didn't teach you very well how to actually make the bracelet, but they told you the sizing. Take different videos, watch them all, and compile that information to make it easier to make bracelets. This next tip is pretty self-explanatory and obvious, but always make sure that you have either some good music to listen to, a good movie on Netflix to watch, good videos on YouTube to watch, because sometimes it can get pretty boring making bracelets, but if you're listening to something or watching something in the background, it's gonna be a lot more fun. Personally, is what I do is I just have a playlist where I put all kinds of videos that are like those read aloud horror stories off of Reddit. I just have a playlist, so I'll put that playlist on when I'm making bracelets. Now it's time to show you guys my organization. All I do is I just put the thread on these bobbins. I believe you can get a whole bunch of these off of Amazon. You can get the cases off of Amazon as well, and I didn't actually buy the bobbins, somebody else did, so I don't know where these specific ones are originally from. I also feel like it's so aesthetically pleasing to look at. And then I have my next one, which is kind of a mess. These are all super short threads. These ones are not from me. They're from somebody who does actual embroidery. She gave me some of her leftover stuff. In here I have a needle threader and safety pins and then needles. And then I just have some colors here. These are just all kinds of different random lengths that are too short to really do anything with, so I just keep those in here. Here's all my extra bobbins. These are all just kept on cardboard, and I have how many inches, so each of these strings are 38 inches. That's about it. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.